How you doing, everybody? Squirrel Guy at the park. Time for Squirrel Chat, even though there's not a squirrel in sight. I wanted to focus this particular chat on my martial arts training, how I integrated it with the therapy I've had for my stroke to get a great result. Taekwondo master from back east emailed me, and he was really curious about that. He had a stroke. It's been about 3 or 4 years now. He hasn't gotten any positive results. I'm sorry about that, sir. Maybe some of the things I show you can be of assistance. I don't know. I can only talk about my stroke and what I know about my stroke and how I treated my stroke. First of all, I had blood in the brain. My brain was bleeding due to a fall, and that set the fuse for major conflict between my brain and my body. You can have a couple of kinds of aneurysms. Fortunately, my brain didn't forget everything. It merely paralyzed me on my right side and took away my ability to speech. Not good for a guy that makes his living on camera, I'll tell you. So I had to really dig deep into my martial arts training and go back to the very start of it. The first thing I had to do was come to grips with the situation. And for that, I'm going to credit Master Victor Hughes out of San Diego.
This man is about to break 21-inch bricks with his mind. Chi is an inner strength which draws its power from the mind. The hand or foot is merely an instrument delivering the message. Developing the mind is the ultimate essence of power because the body will do whatever the mind wills. Karate Master Victor Hughes is a living example of the power of the mind.
I met Master Hughes when I was working for PM Magazine, and I did a segment on him, and I was very impressed. He trained with Matsuyama in Japan when he was a young Marine, and then he went off to Vietnam. And in Vietnam, he got blown up, he got bayoneted. It was pretty bad shape.
Wounds from 3 tours of duty in Vietnam left Marine Sergeant Hughes crippled for life.
I had my head blown apart, so I'm epileptic from it. I got hit in the chest, which caused my shoulder to be tore out. That's held together with about 1.5 pounds of plastic and 3 screws. Took a round in the leg there, took out 3 inches of bone and part of the artery. Took out the ulnar nerve in this arm and blew it apart. Got bayoneted in the back. A lot of shrapnel all around the rest of my body, so it was pretty bad.
This photo shows Victor in his prime, a muscular, combat-ready Marine. But after 3 years in the hospital, medical specialists predicted a bleak future for this battle-scarred veteran.
They told me that I was just going to be almost a vegetable. Just almost a vegetable.
Before Vietnam, Hughes was a dedicated student of the martial arts, studying with the masters in Japan. From his hospital bed, he called upon his black belt mental discipline to accomplish what the doctor said could not be done.
And I became strong from the inside out, not from the outside in. I trained my mind not to be disabled. Knock me off! Harder!
I titled his piece of Power of the Mind because, as you can tell, he's a massive breaker. But he doesn't do it with force and power. He does it with mental energy. The bricks you saw him break, he did it with his mind, really. And so I called his segment The Power of the Mind. He taught me the power that comes from not only positive thinking, but transference of energy. And you know, we all have chi when we start out. We learn some form of energy control. But most of us don't harness it the way Master Hughes did.
Are you proud? 1, 2, 3. Let me hear it.
Training here is demanding, and to make the grade in this school, discipline and the will to succeed is a must. This session deals with teaching the mind to control the body.
And try to give them energy, your energy.
Each student wills his mental energy to his counterpart on the wall. When the legs want to quit, the mind takes over. With the proper use of Qi, cramps and discomfort can be eliminated at will.
And he trained me in particular in a way to harness and use that energy, not only in kata, in breaking, but also for healing. And I had to use this positive energy throughout my ordeal. First of all, they said, the doctors said, I would be on a walker for 1 year to 3 years minimum. Well, that kind of information doesn't set well with a martial artist who spent his whole life training not to be on a walker. I'm still using my cane for balance. So I do a simple H form. When you start with a walker, it's baby steps all the way. First, you have to learn how to scoot without falling over. But the most important thing I did was to use it to practice my forms, the stances, your back stance, forward stance, back stance and forward stance together, switch them off and on, because that strengthens your legs. And what you've got to do at the beginning is not only learn how to walk, but get your balance back. I have fell over 2 times at home. One time it was so bad, I didn't think I was going to get up, and it took quite a few hours for Kathy to get me in the bed. So it's not easy. But then after you start and take those baby steps, small victories, I call them, you do more. You do your side kicks, they get a little higher. You do your front kicks, they get a little stronger. And your back kicks, well, I'm still working on that. I've fallen on my face a couple of times. But that's how you start. Baby steps, small victories. If you have another question how I use martial arts in my recovery, please email me and tell me if it's okay to give your name and your location, okay? Well, that's it for now. I hope everybody has a happy new year, and I look forward to seeing you on the flip side. Later, Gator. Bye-bye.